welcome to your favorite program, The Stewardship. My name is David Ojo. Today on Stewardship, we are bringing the Commissioner for Women, Children, and Social Affairs on the program. She is a legal luminary. She is a barrister par excellence. She is a fighter when it comes to women matters. Today on Stewardship, I have the honor to invite to the show Honorable Commissioner for Women, Children, and Social Affairs, Honorable Commissioner Olubukola Olaboopo. You're welcome to the Stewardship.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with this conversation with what does this ministry stand for?
Thank you. This ministry stands for gender inclusion, it stands for gender sensitivity, it stands for social welfare, the welfare of women and children across the state, basically.
So how has it been so far in the state of Osun?
Well, thank you very much. We thank God for the kind of governor we have, His Excellency Governor Olubukola, and more importantly, the wife, Alaja Tola. Both of them are very, very gender sensitive. When it comes to issues of women and children, they do not tolerate, and this has enabled us to be able to have a smooth stay, in terms of ensuring that the interests of women across the state are protected, that their rights are upheld, their welfare are priority, and that women and children who are vulnerable are well taken care of. Talking of orphans, street children, battered children, children in need of care, and all that.
Well, in the past 3.5 years that you've been the main focus of this ministry. Can you tell us some of the achievements that you've made so far, especially in the women angle?
Well, thank you. We have been able to heighten the awareness of women as to their rights. It is when you know your rights that you are able to fight for it and protect such rights. For instance, issues of domestic violence, gender-based violence across the state, we now have absolute reduction in the occurrence of incidences, because women are now aware that it is not appropriate for their husbands to beat them. When we came on board, what obtained was a situation where from across the state we had issues of women being battered by their husbands, especially because it was also during the outbreak of COVID-19 that people were restricted into their homes. So issues of gender-based violence rose across the country, and Osun was not an exception. But we thank God that the state was able to respond as quickly as possible. Such cases were meted down. We were able to bring perpetrators to justice. We were able to give solace to victims. Sometimes we shelter women for as long as they needed, to be comfortable, to be emotionally stable, to go back to their homes. Sometimes when they feel that the best thing is to find their separate ways, we look at empowering them and ensuring that they have hopes and that they are able to face the challenges that may arise as a result of such domestic violence. So across the state, we have launched sensitization programs. We work very closely with artisans, especially male artisans, transporters, drivers, because we realize that even from statistics, the prevalence of gender-based violence is more, coming from those segments of persons in the state. And they now have it as part of their agenda at every meeting they do, that whoever batters his wife will be suspended and face other consequences. That is how far we have gone in domestic violence.
And how effective is this?
It has been very, very effective. That's why I said that we now have absolute reduction in incidences of domestic violence, gender-based violence, and
Can you give us the statistics?
Yes, when we came on board, it was around 78%. Yeah. And then when COVID came in around March 2020, we had an upsurge, and then we were recording 90, virtually every week. We had cases of our sleep, and for now we have less than 10% from across the states. Those men are now aware that this ministry is also for them. Sometimes they walk in to come and report their wives, and so this has prevented situations where they get provoked and misbehave at all. So we have recorded a huge success in that regard.
Let's look at this scenario that just happened some couple of weeks ago, especially this woman, this singer that was maltreated. Let me use that word now, by the husband. A lot of news around about this. What are you doing as a ministry to make sure that such will not happen in Osun?
Well, we can, it's not possible that we have such cases in Osun, because when we tackled GBV, we do not just tackle it for cosmetically. We ensure that we dig deep, we look at reasons why we have recurrence of GBV. And we realize that, one, there is a need for women to be empowered. If you have a wife who is empowered, who has to go to a shop, who by 8 o'clock already has customers waiting for her at the shop, and sales continue throughout the day, and they has to just come home, cook and sleep, there may not be a reason for altercations between husbands and wives. Empowerment of husbands too. When men are less empowered, when they are not able to fend for their family, their egos are bruised, and so they fall into depression, and they get frustrated, and they start misbehaving. Not because they want to misbehave, but because they do not have the control over their emotions. And so we have been able to work on empowerment. The government has been able to work on empowerment, and that is why you see so many social intervention programs in the state, ensuring that funds are released for persons to go and start businesses so that we can have a reduction. We also realize that sometimes the background, the personality of the women are naturally vocal. They want to talk, they want to shout and speak their mind. And so the ministry established the Osun Women Clinic, where we have psychotherapists, guidance counselors, lawyers, social workers. They are there 24/7. We are saying that you have a shoulder to lean on. The government is lending you a ear, so you can come up and tell us, instead of bottling up issues and then you start reacting. We want you to just come up to us, discuss it with us, and we can find a way around it. And so we launched the Osun Women Clinic, and we are happy at the results that have been coming up, that we've been having. Also, we also realize that when women are not motivated, especially because as women we have so many things that face us. We are in charge of the husband, we are in charge of the home, we are in charge of our children, we have our career, we have our health, we have our family, we have church, mosque, so many things, And so we do not actually have the time to celebrate ourselves. What women do is, my husband is 50 today, I'm celebrating him. My child is 10 years old today, I'm celebrating her. My pastor is this, I have to get him or her a gift, I have to be there and all that, forgetting ourselves. And so in the ministry, we have made it a point of duty to celebrate all days that are meant for women, global days. Talking of International Women's Day, the International Day of the Widow, the Family Day, International Day for the Rural Women. With all of these days, we have made sure that we celebrate it with our women. We ask them to come in colors of attires. We bring musicians, they eat, they dance, we cancel them, and at the end of the day, you can see that they are more relaxed, they are happier for it, and they are more productive at the end of the day. So we have been able to tackle cases of gender-based violence across the board, not just looking at it from a particular angle. And that was why I said that we also had collaborations with NURTW, mechanics, because it is this segment of people, you know, artisans, people who are more or less not too learned, you know, that we recorded highest incidences from them. So when we have programs, we invite men. We do not just invite women and make it a jamboree. No, we invite men across board. We speak to them, we talk to them, we bring players to tell them the implications of what they do, social workers, guidance counselors, psychologists. And so by the time they are leaving the hall, you can see that they are sober. They now understand, okay, so you are not just saying I should not beat her because you like her. It is even because in my own interest not to beat her. And everyone is happy for it.
Beautiful. Now let's talk about this Ocean Women thing that you just mentioned. How informed are the women, especially in the state of Ocean, on this clinic that you're talking about?
Well, the clinic has been on. The clinic was launched in 2020, and like I said, there is barely a week that we do not have cases. You know, I know that people are aware about it because we leverage on social media, we leverage on print and broadcast media to ensure that people are aware of it. If they are not aware of it, we probably will not be getting patronage. They are aware of it, and I must also say that we launched a toll-free line because we wanted, and we still want people to be able to speak with government at no cost to them. Anyone who is being battered or going through any situation, anyone who is in fear, you are not even being assaulted already, but you are in fear of danger. We want you to talk to us without any cost, at no cost to you. So we launched the Oshun toll-free line, which is 293. People can call us and discuss this with us. And as part of effort, we also make sure that we train our women and girls, you know, in martial arts.
Wow.
Yeah. They are able to, they do taekwondo training at no cost to them. All you just have to do is walk into the ministry, put down your name, and you join the classes at the next class. We hold classes twice a day, every Friday, twice a week, every Fridays and Saturdays.
Is that for self-defense or?
Yes, it's for self-defense. So that if anyone wants to rape them, anyone wants to assault them, or you just feel that, oh, this girl is a slim lady, I can just slap her and all that. We want you to know that our girls and our women in the shoe are always on ground. So it's for self-defense, spending the time that help will come.
Don't you think that it will be a scary thing for men, the married men?
It should not be a scary thing. Do you want to beat your wife?
Definitely not.
So yeah, so if you don't want to beat your wife, it should not be a threat to you. You should be happy that if any man would want to, you know, trespass against her person, she would be able to defend herself. So you should look at it from that angle, knowing that she's safe with you. Yes. That's the essence.
All right, that's good. You're a lawyer, and definitely you're always fighting for the cause of women. What are the legislations that you've made so far that you pushed to the State House of Assembly to make sure that all what you've been saying becomes law? Thank
you very much. Let me first appreciate our mother, the mother of the state, Alaja Kafaya Tola, because the ministry leverage, you know, on her to be able to pass the Violence Against Persons Prohibitions law. This law is not just for women, it's for both gender, and it says that it's an offense, a criminal offense at that, for you to beat your wife, for you not to provide for her feeding, shelter, and every other thing that has to do that would give her comfort and the children comfort. It's also an offense for you to wear clothes that reveal your nakedness, amongst other provisions of the law. And anybody who rapes, you know, now faces absolute life sentence in Oshun. So we have been able to pass this law. We also have our child rights law, which protects the interests of children across the states. Like, children are entitled to be educated. They're not supposed to be working while they are in school. It frowns against child abuse. child labor, child trafficking, and all that.
All right, if you're just joining us, we are having a conversation with the Honorable Commissioner for Women, Children, and Social Affairs, Honorable Commissioner Olubukola Olaboopo, and he's been telling us some of the achievements so far this ministry has been having under his watch. Honorable Commissioner, let's talk about this female genital mutilation. How far are we, Commissioner?
Thank you. Well, female genital mutilation is also part of gender-based violence. And the Violence Against Persons Prohibitions Law, which I earlier mentioned, also covers FGM. In Osun, I think about 2-3 years ago, we had a statistics which states that Osun ranks second in states in Southwest, where we had highest prevalence of FGM. And so we switched into action to ensure that now we, as much as possible, we are able to reduce the practice. The work of the governor has been at the forefront, leading the campaign. We work with persons who are circumcisers because we realize that there are families whose native business is circumcision. And so we've been able to work with them to see the dangers, showing them life incidences, life aftermath consequences of FGM. And all of them now know better. Some of them, or majority of them, have come out to do renunciation, putting down their tools, saying that they are no longer interested in the practice. And in lieu of that, what the government does is to empower them. Okay, so if you are putting down your age-long practice and profession, what do we do to ensure that you don't go back to it? And so what we do is, what are you interested in? Do you have any other vocation you learned? How do we come in and ensure that we empower them so that they can have things succor to leverage on and move on with their life? We work with development partners, and I also want to put on record to say that Osun is open to development partners, UNICEF, UNFPA, goodwilling, persons, philanthropists, persons in diaspora who are interested in coming into Osun to invest in our women and children or to campaign against vices like this. So we work closely with development partners to ensure that as much as possible we have very good reach. We go as far as going from community to community, door to door, speaking to the heads of communities, the ballers, that they should man their domain and ensure that we do not have anyone who practice FGM in their domain. We also have FGM campaigners, who are just like spies. They are with you, they are in society, they work with you, they eat with you, fetch water together, but they are actually spies, to communicate to us once they see that someone wants to go into that practice. And with the recent statistics we have, Osun now ranks 4th out of the 5 states. It now leads. I'm sorry to say if any is the person, but that's the statistics. It now leads, and Osun now ranks 4th. So we have moved from the 2nd highest to the 2nd lowest within 2 years.
That's interesting. When we were talking the other time, especially about women, you mentioned widows. And in your ministry, widows happens to be one of the critical stakeholders. What has been the impact of this ministry, especially in widows?
Well, thank you very much. We do not joke with our widows. When I came on board, we had factions, I think as a result of conflicting interests, and we were able to put them together, knowing that as long as you are factionalized, you will not have enough dividends of democracy as you ought to have. So now we have our faction, we have our widows together in unity. We give back to them. We ensure that they are given priorities when it comes to giving back to the society in terms of the in terms of empowerment and everything. And I must also speak on empowerment because Mr. Governor has done a lot, to empower women across the states.
Can you share some with us?
Yeah. Let me start from women in governance. I am part of that. We have other women who are members of the cabinet, and we know that we enjoy the patronage of Mr. Governor. He gives us preference when it comes to hearing us out at cabinet meetings and protecting our interests and our welfare. Across the states, we have women who are now chairmen of local governments. We have women as vice chairmen. We have women as executive secretaries. These are positions which the traditional governance system would reserve for men. Sometimes they do not even give women councillorship. They believe that anything local government is majorly for men. But now we now have female councillors. We have women who hold political positions, board members and all. And apart from that, when it now comes to starting businesses, we have recorded not less than about 50,000 women across Osun who have been empowered. We still have some other ones on our list, and we are happy at the return. Our women in Osun are very proactive, they are prudent, they are industrious, and they are doing absolutely well. So you cannot see an average Osun woman who comes to knock at your door to beg for money or beg for food. I must also say that in the ministry we have our food storage and food bank, and what we do is when we have donations, because we also have vulnerable children in care of the government. Government ensures that they pay for school fees, their health, clothing, everything that has to do with them. So when we have donations for these children, what we do is, okay, we have other ones who are less privileged, so we have the food bank. And so when you walk into the ministry and we look at you, where do you want us to start to take care of them? And say, but I said, okay, if it's about that, we go into the food bank, we get you food, rice, beans, spag, noodles, detergents.
You do all that?
Yes, detergents, wow. Seasonings, and we say, okay, we give it to them while we look at what we can do in the long term to ensure that they do not come back to come and request for food, and that they are off our list so that we can accommodate some other persons.
Right before I let you go, let me just look at your ministry: women, children, and social affairs. 3 things for just you. How do you do it? Or how are you doing it?
It is God's grace. It is God's grace. Women are naturally endowed, and we are able to multitask. We do so many things together. Don't forget that I also have my career. I have my husband, so I have the children I have. And I participate, very well, actively in politics at the grassroots. So, but because of God's grace and the natural nature, the endowment of women, we are able to ensure that we have a balance across them, and we return all the way to God.
All right, women, children. Let's talk about social affairs. How sociable are the women? We know, but let's hear from you.
Our women are sociable. Actually, the social affairs is not about outings.
All right.
It's about social development. It's about social development. It's about looking at them and saying, okay, so what next from here? How do we ensure that you are an integral part of the society, and that you are able to raise up your head and say that, yes, I'm proud of myself, and that I have a dignity of life. So, and women have a right to dignity of life. So that's what the social affairs is about. It's not just the big social affairs.
Well, I wish I could go on and on and on with you on this program. It's been an interesting one. It's been an interesting conversation. with you on stewardship. Honorable Commissioner, thank you for coming to the stewardship. All right, that's how far we can go on today's edition of Stewardship. This program is proudly organized by the Office of Civic Engagement, led by Honorable Olubukola Olaboopo. My name is David Ojo. When I bring another commissioner on stewardship, see you next week. I'm back for now.